Hello, Chris Orsini here, and today we're going to deep dive into contacts. Now, if you haven't already, please go take a look at my 3+1 simple steps to get started in Command. Remember, in order to create a contact, you need to have, create an opportunity, you need to have the contact already. And I'm not going to go over creating an opportunity because we've done that already in that video. So let's get into it. I'm going to get rid of my face here. Now, here you're going to see in opportunities, we've got three pipelines. We have listings, buyers, and leases. Now, in leases, this is going to contain both tenants and landlords. So if you're in here, just make sure you're choosing the correct type, tenant or landlord, so you're able to pull what you're actually looking for. Then in the bottom, we've got some graphs to analyze our business. And next to each pipeline, we have our GCI calculator. We have our potential income and then our probable income. Now, our potential income is just the sum of all potential commissions in the pipeline, and probable is the sum with the probability of them actually closing factored in. Now, each pipeline has 5 phases. They are cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, closed, with under contract being pending in leases. These are static. They will not change. You cannot edit them, rearrange them, add or subtract. You will always have 5, and they will always be named cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, closed. Now let's go take a look at the lead generation model from the MREA 2.0. Now, I love this graphic here. Big shout out to John Morris, who edited this up and added all these command references here. You'll see in this, excuse me, this lead generation model that you're going to be funneling your leads to contacts into the sales pipeline here, which is cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, closed. And that looks surprisingly similar to cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, closed. So just so you know, the command is just built off the MREA, which is just brilliant. So what we're looking at here is these pipelines. Now I'm going to go into the listings pipeline, and I've created this opportunity here in Cultivate. So to get into one of these phases, you simply click on the bubble and click on Cultivate. And once we're in here, you're going to find stages. Now, stages are steps within each phase, and you can drag your opportunity from stage to stage or from stage to phase. And you can also jump phases and stages. To get into our opportunity, we would simply click on the name here, but I want to show you what's going on here. So we have these stages, and these are in fact editable. We have this button up here where we can edit stages, and in here we can rearrange them as we want. We can change the name. We can change the probability that it'll close. We can also add and subtract checklists. Now, these are going to be blank once you get in there. So I've added these in there myself. And if you look on the Facebook groups, there's a number of suggested checklist templates out there that you can pull from. And with these checklists, these are templates that you're creating. So anytime an opportunity lands in one of these stages, it will get that checklist template, and it'll appear here. And see, I have 0 out of 4. I can click on this, and I can go through and check off these checklist items. What I love is you get this nice, satisfying completion bar. It just feels so good filling that up. Some other things we can do here, we can set a due date. So if I set a due date on this, it will then create a task over here in tasks. We can then also add unique items. Now this, if I do this here, this will create a unique item for only this opportunity in this stage. This will not add to any other opportunities that land in this stage, and this will not carry on into other stages. So now if we go into this opportunity, we're going to see the details page. Now, as soon as this listing hits the MLS, what you want to do is click Select from Listings. This will pull out this drawer where you can search the search KWLS. Now, it's going to show only my listings here. Now, if you have a buyer, it's not going to be under your listings. You're going to need to search all listings. And if for some reason you're not getting your listings coming up, you can also search them in all listings. So I'll just select the first one I see. You'll see it attaches that listing and then also fills in the details here in the property card. Now we have this general information card, and this fills in, this is filled with a lot of the data that you inputted at the beginning. The commission rate you set. It also then will calculate the commission based on the listing price. But as you're going through the transaction, you do want to click on the edit tool. Now, anytime you see a pencil, that means edit. So you want to click on that and go through and add when you get the close date or the appointment schedule, the appointment dates. This will feed into your goals. And so you can have those reports. Now, documents, I've done a lot of videos on compliance as well as DocuSign, so I'm not going to get into this in too much depth, but this is where we're going to submit our files for compliance. If we need to pull forms and get e-signatures, we're going to click Start a Transaction and use either DocuSign or Dotloop, whichever your market center is using. If you have multiple checklists, you need to make sure you have the proper checklist selected. You'll see we have 4 options, and so I have residential here. Then we have the 3 folders as well as custom folders. Now, I haven't gone into much detail about custom folders. These are great if you have documents that you want to keep in the opportunity that don't need to be submitted for compliance, or that you're waiting to submit to compliance. So if I go here to the documents folder, my miscellaneous documents folder, I can add documents, choose the types of documents, and then pull them in and put in notes here. Now, I'm just going to do that as an example real quick. And let's just see, what do I have in downloads? That's a PDF. Now, it will only accept PDFs. So I added it, and we see it here. Now, you can also add this, submit this for compliance. If you click Add File, you have the custom folder option, and you do see these files here. So these are going to be files that you don't have to submit for compliance, but they don't need to be non-compliance files, if that makes sense. Going back here, we also have this Add Item button. So a common case for this would be a second escrow letter. So we don't have a second escrow letter checklist item. And frankly, if we put every single possible checklist item here, this would be a mile long and not very user-friendly. So we have this Add Item option. We would click Add Item. You name the item or the document. You choose the document type, put in any notes, and you pull it in from either custom folders, upload it manually, or if you have started a transaction, you can pull it in from either Dotloop or DocuSign. Now, when we are receiving offers or submitting offers, we would go to this Offers tab, and we can add a new offer. And I'll just say Initial Offer 1, and I'm going to create the offer. I'm not going to put in too much detail here, just for sake of example. So we're going to do Mr. Buyer, Mr. Agent. Now this is where you put the buyer's information and then the buyer's agent information, if this is a listing. we would put in the terms. So let's say they want to pay $100,000 cash and finance $500,000. We can put in earnest amount, option fees, termination options, seller costs. We have a lot we can put in there. Again, I'm just putting in the bare essentials. We can put in our pros and cons, and a summary, which is great to present to our client. Save, and now I'm going to create a second offer. So we're going to do initial offer 2, and we're going to do Mrs. Buyer and Mrs. Agent. Move to the terms, and let's say they're coming in at $600,000 cash. I'll leave this blank. And now that we have 2 offers, we see we have this compare offers button. I can select all, click compare offers, and it will create a offer comparison sheet that we can either download or email to our client. And if we do put in our summary and pros and cons here, they'll also appear here. Now, going back to the offers timeline, you'll see we have this generate offer URL button. Now, this will create a URL, a landing page, where where they can submit the offer, and it will populate in this offer timeline. Now, once we accept an offer, you'll see this commissions tab now lights up. When I click this, I can now submit a commission request, and this is what's going to replace screen sheets. I know my market center has not moved over to commissions just yet. So before you submit this, please check with your market center to see if they're still doing green sheets or requesting you to submit in command. Here you'll notice a contract date is required in order for you to submit this. It will automatically calculate your commission. Now, if you are co-listing this, you would have to change the units and the commission. So say I co-listed this with another agent, I would split the units and then split the commission. Now, this does not automatically, these 2 numbers don't correlate with each other because sometimes, say you're on a team, your rainmaker would get the whole unit, but whatever split of the commission you agree upon. Here, this will break down all your splits, and we have this cool graph here that will show you where you are in capping. Now, I'm not licensed, so this is irrelevant to me, and it's not really populating any real data. And here we can choose deductions if we want to donate to KW Cares, KW Kids Can, or Bold Scholarship. And then we can also add in bonuses, concessions, deductions, or referrals. Now, if I did split the commission here, it's going to tell me that I need to add an agent because there's $9,000 floating somewhere that needs to be accounted for. So I can then add the agent, find them here, and then do the commission request for them as well. I'm going to put this back up to 1 and 18,000 so that goes away. Once we have all this data in properly, we would click submit, and that will submit your commission request to the market center. Now, we do have a notes tab here as well, where we can add notes specifically to the opportunity. Keep in mind that these notes do not end up in the contact card. So I've had a number of people ask me about this. So these notes are specific to the transaction. Now, we also have a timeline here. Now, this is something that's being labbed right now and will be released in the near future. And this is where you'll be able to see everything that's happened in the life of the opportunity. Now I'm going to go back out to the sales pipeline real quick, and you'll notice now that we've put in some numbers, you'll see that my potential income is 18,000. So that's 100% of the commission if it closed. My probable income is only 3,600 because it is 20% of 18,000. Going back out to opportunities, we've got one more tab that I want to show you. We have our all opportunities tab. Now this is going to be helpful because first off, when after an opportunity closes, if I put it in the closed phase, it will only remain there until the first of the next month, and then it will disappear. I've had a number of agents kind of freak out and ask me where their closed opportunities are. They're actually in all opportunities, so you'll be able to go through and see all your historic opportunities. But this is a nice list of everything that you have, every opportunity that you have in all the pipelines. You can also filter the different types, and we can create smart views. In the future, we also have discussions coming, and I'll do a short little video on that once that goes live, but it's going to be more of a team function than a single agent function. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, if there's something that I missed or you would like to see more clarity on, please feel free to email me, OrsiniChris@kw.com, or comment on this video. And if you'd like to see more, please subscribe to me on YouTube or follow me on KW Connect.